The last piece of the puzzle before we can get this thing out on the water. I apologize, guys. There's some people cutting grass back here. If you can see that or hear that, I apologize. But we went to Lowe's just now, picked up some hardware, picked up some quarter 20 hardware to mount the trolling motor. Now, the biggest thing with this trolling motor is, as I mentioned a lot of different times in the past, this is a 24 volt trolling motor, which I showed you guys the battery yesterday. And this has been a true story the whole time, guys. I stole my neighbor's boat, fixing it up for him. He got back from vacation. His boat's gone. I didn't really want to go to jail, so I told him I had it. He knows that I'm fixing this thing up. I'm going to take it out and make sure everything's right with it. And he actually bought the battery. I think I mentioned that yesterday. But we bought that 24 volt battery, lithium battery, on Amazon during Prime Days. It was stupid cheap. It was like $350 for a 24 volt lithium battery, which is crazy. The company is, I think that's XZOY or XZNY. Sorry, XZNY. That's the company right there. Again, never had any run-ins with it. I'm sure it'll be just fine for this boat. In this video, we're going to button up this thing, get it all connected, which I bought some 8 gauge butt connectors or barrel connectors, whatever you want to call them. I'll get those connected, get them taped up, test the trolling motor again to make sure it's going to work, which I'm sure it will. It worked yesterday. At that point, we need to figure out how and where I need to mount the trolling motor. I feel like that it's in a decent location, the setting there where it's at. I want to make sure that it will go in the water. I want to make sure that it will have a room spot over here, because this thing does have a foot that holds the trolling motor from bouncing around. I want to make sure that's going to hit the deck. At that point, again, I got some 2.5 inch stainless. Excuse me. This is just stainless hardware from Lowe's. 2.5 inches. I got 6 of those. There's a lot of things that tick me off in life, but this is what really ticks me off. Quantity: 5 of these washers. Yep. Need 6. Had to buy 2 packs. All well and good. Got some nylock washers or nylock nuts to put on the bottom side of that. I'm going to have to drill some new holes in the boat, so I want to make sure everything's perfect before I do that. So let's button this thing up first to make sure the trolling motor works, and then we'll figure out where we're going to mount the trolling motor. We'll get it mounted up. I wish I had a piece of C-deck to put up here before I do this. I don't have any way to get it anywhere soon. So it's not anything major. I can always take that back off if I need to and put that C-deck on there, or put the C-deck around it. But it's kind of hooved up here. You can kind of see it here. It's kind of, it's not very good looking, but it is what it is. Let's button this thing up, check the trolling motor. Got everything preliminarily hooked up. I've only got one side of this hooked up, or I crimped one side, not the other. I just want to make sure this trolling motor pedal will work the way it's set up. I was having some trouble yesterday with it. That's what I call a great success. That's awesome, man. All this work coming down to the final minute. This thing needs a recessed trolling motor tray. It's like $70. If he wants to do that, I'll put them in there for him later. Right now, we're just trying to get this thing out on the water and make sure it's going to run. I think the trolling motor is fairly decent where it's at. Kind of all depends on how I want it to set. It could go farther that way to the right a little bit, but I don't want to have that trolling motor head sticking way out from the boat. So I'm actually liking that a lot, as long as I can get this thing here back on there, which I think there's plenty of room, but I can't put that on there until I get the trolling motor melted, because obviously I have to reach back in there. All right, well, crimp these other ones up here and get to drill some holes. It's kind of scary. There she is, folks. Plug her in one more time, make sure she'll still work. Well, it just hit me. now that I realized that that thing was about to hit, the blade was about to hit the nav port there, it really can't go there because the nav, you couldn't put the nav light in here while the trolling motor was up like this. So that's no good. Probably gonna have to figure out some way to kind of angle it out a little bit, or push it out maybe further. I feel like it would work there. As long as these, yeah, there's plenty of room here for these holes to go out farther. That's much better. I like that a lot better. I'm glad I looked at that. It's too far back. A lot better. I think that's where the trolling motor is going to live for the rest of its life. Got some rust on that thing. I need to touch that up. Looks like crap. Can't have rust on there. But you can get around this thing right here. It can go in there fine. I still think you can put the trolling motor down. Man, it's going to be close. I need to put the trolling motor down to test it out because here's the deal. I'm thinking that if you take this trolling motor down, the knuckle up there, right there, will hit this thing. So again, I don't want to be wrong here. I need to put it down. It's really tough to put down because it has a gas assist strut right there that makes it really tough. So I've been trying to take this little clamp, trying to find a place I can clamp this trolling motor down so it'll stay. And it's really tough to do so because there's nothing flat on the boat to hold on to. I don't know. We'll get it. Got 4 of the holes drilled. Now comes the fun part. Normally, guys, you would take this trolling motor off here. It's a pain in the rear end, really, to get that the trolling motor off the bracket. Normally, you take the trolling motor off, mount the bracket, put the trolling motor back on there. A little more difficult on this trolling motor than most. So I'm just going to have to wing it. No pun intended. Again, I got 4 holes drilled. If I can get these tightened, it'll give me a lot more leeway to move this thing, maneuver it, put those other last 2 screws in. The 1¼ washer is going to go on the underneath side, and the 1/4 nylock nuts will be underneath there too. So I want to spare you guys the agony of watching me struggle here to do this. I'll show you when I get it done, and we'll start buttoning this thing up. Well, folks, just got everything buttoned up. Misty was out here helping me. It's definitely a 2-person job. I mean, it's cool out here, as you can tell. Got the trolling motor attached. It's working. There is one kind of dilemma that the little foot there, the anti-bounce foot, will hit the light. So, Joe, when you watch this, if you're going to put the trolling motor down, you're fishing at night, make sure you take that light back out, and then you can put it back in right after that, because if not, you're going to rip that thing off there. Kind of is what it is with putting a bigger trolling motor like that on there. But I got it all wired up. I need to take the shop vac to it. Got the 24-volt lithium attached back there. Got a Odyssey PCM 2150 for the starting battery, which is the best lead acid battery on the planet, in my opinion. Little shop vac action. Put some numbers on the side of this jewel. Slap that Ohio sticker on there, and it'll be maiden voyage time for the old ass tracker. Pretty excited, to be honest with you. I'll show you back here. I was going to need some things that will As you can see down here in the bilge area, we got 24 volt here, 12 volt over there. Only problem with this setup is that the power wire, the start wire, the positive wire to the motor is really short. Could probably get in here and make a new one, but right now we're just in testing phase to make sure this thing's going to run. The other issue I see is that with this big 12 or 24 volt battery in here, you're not going to have enough room for much room for fuel. It may fit in there one sideways like this and one normal. It only holds 10 gallon gas anyway, 2 small 5-gallon jugs, so it should be all right. That being said, guys, that's going to do it for this episode here. Next, maiden voyage. Pretty excited. After I get this thing on the water, run around a little bit, catch a fish or two, drop it back off to Joe, let him go catch some fish on it. So it's been a really cool project. You know, really, again, thank you for the person that sent that 24 volt charger to me. I appreciate that. Again, he asked not to be named, which I get it. So deal is, you know who you are. So I appreciate that. We're gonna put that 24 volt trolling motor on here. He'll have to get a regular trolling motor battery, or I'm sorry, a 24 volt charger for the trolling motor battery, and a 12 volt charger for that lead acid back there. I'm not sure how long that lead acid battery is going to last. It's a pretty old battery. It's about 6 years old, so may have to pick one of those up eventually. Right now, man, I'm pretty excited. We got maiden voyage coming up next, so thank you guys for sticking around for this episode of On Another Line, and those of you guys that are commenting on the old 10 Rig Reno, I appreciate it. So again, guys, if you can, get out there and lean on them. We'll see you next time on Another Line.